Calling order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Collins.
Here.
Luke.
Here.
Canton.
Here.
Dan.
Here.
Garmin.
Here.
Buxton.
Here.
Everyone received the minutes from the July 1st meeting.
15. So, yeah.
Any amendments? And then we had the special meeting as well. Yeah. Any amendments to either meeting minutes? Special meeting 6/24, standard council 7/1. Hearing none, minutes stand as approved for both. Takes us to public speak. Gary.
Thank you.
Josh. Sue.
No, sir.
All right. Going into committee reports. Service.
I stand before council tonight and I NTR you guys. Nothing to report.
What?
Things are good.
You took the fences down at the park, baseball fences.
Yes,
That'll make mowing the rest of the year easy.
that sure helped a lot. Yes.
Any questions for Administrator Collins? Takes us into safety. Chief is not able to attend. I'll include the report. There were 58 calls in the first half of July. Of those, 22 were traffic stops, 22 business checks, 3 suspicious persons, 2 assisting outside agencies, 1 theft, 1 alarm drop, 1 vehicle accident with injuries, 2 disorderly conducts, 2 public calls for assistance, and 1 well-being. The new in-car computers are set up and ready to use. They're not installed yet. We're still waiting on the cords, which have been back ordered, and sometime they should be in around the 27th, about 2 weeks from now.
I did talk to Phil about that Friday. He said he's even trying to see if there's just an aftermarket cord
Right.
that would work
Yeah.
to get by.
At least get them moving, right?
Yeah. He said it's ridiculous. Just trying to find stuff like this.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah, he did say he's trying to find aftermarket cord. If he can find them cheap enough, to just snag them and get them working and fill those ones.
Chief Heinerman is in the process of getting us certified by the Ohio Collaborative for the body cameras. We all remember we did receive a grant for those cameras. Now we're in the process of getting certified by the Collaborative for that. Chief Heinerman and Sergeant Crouch will be attending a county-wide intelligence briefing this week. Any questions for safety? All right, takes us to judicial. Grants, anything for grants?
I've had no response from any of my inquiries. And as I said in the last meeting, I'm going to make a few in-person inquiries, see if I can generate a little more interest.
I sent council some information regarding some possible grants for the 2026 fiscal year. Not sure if you all had time to review that. We could check into that and work together with the fiscal officer and the department managers to identify priorities so we can make sure we're prepared to submit. Application due dates is the end of October.
Looks like they're kind of going to favor smaller projects, just so they got more money to spread.
Exactly, yeah. So, and it really looked like roads were given preference, if I remember correctly. I don't have it in front of me currently, but I believe there's a scoring system. I believe roads had
So many points.
so many points for those. So something we should definitely consider. It is, I believe, a 50-50 match. Like I said, I don't have it in front of me, but it is in your emails, so. I believe so, yep. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta send it to all of you. You guys got it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was,
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Stuff we know.
Okay.
I forget where they said they got the money from, but it was it was a set amount that they had to give out. That's
Yeah,
where.
I think it's like 10 million, I think. Approximately.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right. Takes us into finance.
Finance, I can make a motion for invoices, 48,742.65. Is presented by Spencer, guys.
Second.
All right, roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Yeah.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Garmin.
Yeah.
Buck.
I would also like to make a motion for invoices. Payroll in the amount of $18,897.19. And payroll in the amount of $14,954.30.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Yeah.
Contos.
Yay.
Van.
Yes.
Garmin.
Yeah.
Buck.
Yeah.
All right, fiscal officer guys presents council with the appropriations report. Should be in the packet.
Page did that start on?
It's like,
It's out towards the end.
yeah, I think I'm looking at it now.
19.
Yeah.
Any drastic changes or anything, Kurt, from last year?
Last year,
I mean,
police department's running high this year. I don't know that it's drastic, but we're on track to spend. We got 220, we're on track to spend 450. Almost, well, we'll probably spend close to the appropriations, 470. That'll be the highest we've ever spent with them. Permissive license, we use that to pave Noble Street. That account balance is down, I don't know, $3,000-4,000, or 20 or 30,000 now. We're spending money, fixing things.
Looks good, though.
That 2152, that should be gone by the end of this year. That's that last of that ARP money that we got during COVID. That's 115, just shy of 115,000. That money should be gone and off the books by the end of the year. I got approval today for that resolution we passed at the last meeting for that new mayor's court thing. We got that approval today from the auditor's office. So, other than that, nothing real drastic.
I would ask council to just look over the appropriations report. Come back with any questions you may have. You know, I'll wait till the next council meeting. Kurt's always available. As well as myself. I don't know as much as Kurt does, but I can, if I don't know, I can get you answers. So.
Kurt, especially after the
I'm usually away. Won't be surprised if you get emails 2:00 in the morning.
There's a note to remind council about the fraud training from the auditor. Kurt, I thought you had sent out a link for that, but if I remember right, that link didn't work. Is that correct?
No, it works, because I
Did it?
used it the other night.
All right.
was that in last meeting back?
No, I sent an email, it was on Friday.
Yeah.
Right after evening. I
Oh,
sent
that's
it.
right. Yeah, that's mine.
Should have been around, I guess, 6 or 7 o'clock.
Good We also have the mandatory required drug-free workplace training. Kurt also sent an email with that, with the list of managers that have to do both the supervisor and the employee. Just a reminder, council must participate in that as well. Kurt, you have a note in for the requesting council's approval for the,
Oh, yep. This is the last big thing for the capital improvement project. Miscellaneous road patching and spot paving throughout the village, $40,100 from Dave's Asphalt. And you guys have a copy of the quote in your meeting packet. Should be right before the mayor's court. We did set money aside for this year.
any questions? I would need a motion, council wants to consider.
So, second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Yay.
Consos.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Buxton.
Okay.
Anything else for finance?
Do we want to iron out the details with the uniform allowance, things like that?
Well, I have two questions, Chaz.
Okay.
So, number one, I did a rough draft, and I apologize, I wasn't at the meeting, so I wasn't fully involved in all of the council's discussions. So, I understand it's 800 for full-time, 300 for part-time. There'd be a reimbursement if the employee quits within a year. The prorated back, repayment back. My question is, are you gonna do it on January of every year or on the employee's anniversary of their hire date? And again, my recommendation is the anniversary of their hire date, but it's whatever you decide as council. The reason why I say that is I pointed out earlier, if somebody gets hired in November, you get $800 and do it in January, they're gonna come forward in January and say, another $800, please, unless we write in anniversary of your hire date on your first year, which becomes convoluted and confusing, whereas every November, come back and we'll give you, and it'd be up to that employee to tell the chief to tell the fiscal officer. I mean, they're gonna track it. The second question I have is, part-timers, we talked about a reimbursement. If they leave within the first year, paying back $25 per month, which is equivalent of the $300. Are you gonna do that every year?
And it's-
So if I'm a part-timer and let's say I get hired in now, July, I get my $300. I'm here a year from now, next July, I get another $300, but then I get a full-time job in the following June. So I'm gonna pay back $25. You want that to be reoccurring for every year for part-timers, correct?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing for a full-timer? I'm a full-timer, I get my $800, I get hired in June, I come back next June, I get my other $800, and then May of the next year, I say, hey, guess what? You got hired by the City of Alliance, I'm leaving, so now I gotta pay back $66.67?
I guess the next question would be, what about when they retire? They gonna owe you money to retire?
Well, I think if you look at your current policy, retirement is different than
It's different.
termination, voluntary and involuntary termination. And I'll put retirement in there, maybe.
And just, we're doing it that way, you're keeping them from hanging out for one extra month. If that situation were to arise, just to,
I just want to be clear, I can write it however you want, but you gotta tell me what you want.
Let me throw this idea out. Trying to keep track of it on everybody's anniversary date, it's not a nightmare, but it's pretty difficult. What if you were to say, okay, part-timers, we're gonna say we give $300 a year, full-timers, we give $800 here, whatever it is. And if you're going to change it from the $1.75 for every 8 hours worked and just give them a set amount no matter what they work, let's say you hire somebody in June. Rather than give them the full $300 right up front for June, why not give them $150? Give them $25 per month for the remainder of the year.
and then January 1, they would be entitled to $300.
Well, the concept was they're gonna be able to have a uniform.
Well, I realize, I understand that, but I don't think that we've had that many officers that have not taken a job with us because we didn't have that uniform on.
I don't know, that's right.
I don't
Because
think
every
it's-
officer that
Yeah.
went to a drug test has come on board.
Yeah, I don't think the uniform policy is keeping them from joining. I think the uniform policy is keeping them from being outfitted as we want and expect them to be outfitted in terms of uniform, in terms of equipment and whatnot. I think that's I'll be upfront and honest, we've had a lot of discrepancies in how our officers are presented based on the officer's situation, right? So if it's a newer officer, they don't have some of the uniforms, so it gives us a different look to our residents, and we were trying to, make it a more standardized
Put the
appearance.
uniform in uniform.
Exactly.
And so then the other question I guess I had, what are you gonna do with your current full-time and part-time officers? Are you gonna figure out how much they have accumulated to date? And then once this passes, then pay the difference? I mean, it should all be spelled out. And again, let's use that example. Part-time guy has been here since January. He works his regular shifts and he's got, $175 in his account. You put this in place, and then you're gonna give him another 125, bring him up to the 300. Or are you gonna tell him, no, you wait till your anniversary date, then we'll give you. I mean, I'm asking you to tell me how you wanna do
I
it.
think the thing would be to, if they have some accumulation, and you just bring them up,
Credit that, bring them up to par with everybody else.
you can make some most of it. Like I said, I mean, like Dave says, the chief's got there's a few set uniforms that they're, this way he can enforce it because there's no excuse. Like, right off the rip, you can, you might not be able to go buy a gun or whatever, but you can be compliant with there's a lot of PDs, I mean, they're way more strict with their dress code.
Sheriff's Department's nuts.
Okay, well, that answers my questions. I can make this draft and I'll get it out to everybody for consideration.
So are we going off the anniversary date then? Or what did we decide?
I mean, I think it makes most sense, I think, for most of us, but I know Kurt is
Yeah.
the one saying it might be more of a nightmare for tracking purposes.
We
But I don't know
could-
of any other way.
we
I don't
could just put it back on the employee.
Well,
If you
yeah,
want your
I-
stuff, you
Trust
need to, you need to let the chief
If I'm
know.
an employee and I know I'm gonna get $800 on my
Right.
anniversary date,
You're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
give
forget that.
remind the chief payroll ahead, hey. I need my, because I need to buy new pants or new boots or new shirts or whatever.
I agree with you. They won't forget that.
Well, I guess, okay, another question I've got, and this is just from past experience. Are we going to put a set list of items that they're able to purchase with it, or are we just gonna let them?
We're gonna have a set dress code for them, but we're not gonna
We said,
dictate what they use it for.
the chief's still gonna tell them where they
The
can buy
way,
it.
the way, this is in your current policy and I haven't changed it. They have to present the item, the description, SKU and price to the chief.
from an
He
approved
has to
vendor.
approve it from an approved vendor and then. you can go
How
forward.
keep
Well,
it the
the
same.
only reason I'm.
And if they don't have enough money to buy that item, they have to pay up front. So again, let's talk, say I got $200 in my uniform allowance. The item I want to buy is 3 pairs of pants, it's $210 total, all right? Chief says, yes, I approve these pants, but before I put the order in, you pay the difference, the extra $10. That's in your current policy right now. So I didn't change any of that.
Well, the only reason I asked that question is we've had officers buy watches, we've had them buy guns, we've had them buy backpacks, we've had them buy.
That's why the chief has to say, these are what you.
Well, that's why I'm asking, is there going to be a set list?
No,
Because
that's-
I have questioned at times
That's between
of what
council and the
we're-
chief. Yeah.
using the uniform allowance for.
No, I agree, and as you know, I've represented other entities in the past, and I've been at this for hearings where police officers have bought high-heel shoes, and police officers have bought Rue 21 dresses for their daughters, and they've all been sanctioned and disciplined. So yeah, the chief has to say, here's what you may buy. Done.
Yeah, he should be reviewing it ahead. They should
Yeah,
be
right.
They
that's-
shouldn't be going to the store and picking out things and then saying, hey, by the way,
Yeah, no,
they should all be, they should have a quote from the store, bring it to the chief.
that's
And then be
exactly what
sent
this says.
to your, yeah,
Item, description,
Right.
SKU number, price, and he could say yes or no.
Yeah.
And it does two things. You then hold the chief accountable for being the chief. You know, it's your job to watch over this stuff. And it's his job to hold his officers accountable. You can't just go buy your daughter a dress at Route 21 or a pair of high heels because you want to go to a police ball.
So with that being said, if Kurt gets a bill in the mail or something, or
Chief has to approve it.
whatever, then he's not to pay that bill.
Officer
unless
signs
there's
it,
something
chief signs it, then Kirk will pay. If I was a fiscal officer, I wouldn't pay anything unless I had the signature of the administrator, the police chief, or the mayor saying, this is,
Approved purchase.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm laughing because of the dress and high heels. We have had receipts turned in for that stuff.
well, didn't.
I didn't pay it.
I didn't know it was here, but that was Perry Township years ago.
It did happen here. It did happen here. I didn't pay it. Was that Henry? I never knew who it was because there was no name on the receipt. But,
I mean, it's not that common.
Size 14 shoe didn't give you a hint that it was Henry?
Size one off the rails here a little bit.
Right down the side.
That'd be Bill.
Okay, thank you for your input. I think I have a much better understanding. I apologize I wasn't here at this special meeting, but I will make sure you have this for your August meeting.
So just
I'll circulate to everybody in advance.
for clarification, I think we were in agreement as far as bringing the current individuals up to par, if I'm correct?
Yeah,
Yeah. If we're gonna increase it, we gotta
Yeah.
take care of the ones that are with us.
I mean, by the time we're done with this, it'll be August, it'll only be
Yeah.
a few months. Well, I don't know when the last time.
We might have them left.
Most of them probably don't have much balance on their.
Yeah, because the earning now is not great.
Well, the worst part is, and this has always been a bugaboo with me, it's a question of consideration of the department. You have an officer who knows he's leaving, he's given notice that he's leaving, he's got $150 credit, so he runs out and spends every penny. You can't cut him off, he's still an employee, but you know what, that's a question of moral obligation, I think.
Well, this way
Personal
does
ethics.
effectively cut it off though, because you're not earning per shift, it's just a set amount.
Anyway, that's an aside, that has nothing to do
Gives
with
them all
what we're
more.
talking about.
Does that include, I mean, should we list something about, I know we've got officers that passed it, were hired in and just didn't work a shift at all. Meaning, we don't want to put like a shift requirement or something like that. Meaning, let's say you don't work a shift in the last 6 months before your anniversary. And then your anniversary comes up and
No, we just gotta hold them accountable for the shift.
just hold them accountable for that portion of the
Exactly.
policy.
Yeah, we gotta, yeah,
You do like you did with that last officer. If
Yeah.
you didn't show up, you're out of here. And again, the chief has to manage his department. It's his responsibility, not finance, not personnel, not,
anything else for finance?
I don't have anything else.
All right, this takes us to other. I previously presented council with the mayor's court report for June 2024. Total collected for the month, $3,751, which breaks down as follows: 1,418 in fines, 1,583 in local costs, and 750 in state costs. Have we made, just for my impression, we had the special meeting a couple weeks ago. I think the consensus in that meeting was to move forward with adding the position in service with the anticipation of Administrator Collins' retirement. Have we made any headway in getting that moving forward? try to look in to see what we gotta do to start moving forward on that.
Sure.
I think we were in agreement to do it.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that,
I mean, I think the way Ed and Henry talked, they kind of got their guys.
Yeah.
No problem with it.
okay.
Yeah, we're ready to move forward. We just need the okay from council.
I think, from everyone looking at me, you all are good. Any questions, concerns? I think we went through it pretty in depth, right?
It'll be the August 7th meeting, so I'll have it ready.
Yeah. That's the old one.
Oh, that's last.
Yeah, I got thrown away. Yeah. Speaking of August 5th, I will not be here. So,
You're up.
Bill, you're up. I was hoping that council, or at least members of council, would be open to a special work session 2 weeks from today, which is the 29th, I believe. To look through the PD. We are having a lot of overtime hours currently to cover shifts. So I wanted to dig through that. I will have information compiled regarding payroll, pay rates from kind of like I did 3 years ago. I already have that information coming in. But I want to review current expenditures within the PD, the overtime spend, root cause of that overtime, try to come up with some corrective actions with all of you. If that's okay, if you're open to it.
29th, you want to do 7 o'clock?
Whatever works for you all, I'll be here.
It's fine with me.
I'm good with that.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I also wanted to extend my personal condolences to former Mayor Almacy. She lost her husband, Jack. And that's, Kathy did a lot of great things, still does a lot of great things for the village. And I wanted to just personally offer my condolences to her and her family on their loss.
He was pretty sick.
Anything else for other? Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah.
Contos.
Yay.
Dan.
Yes.
Garmin. Buxton.
I didn't even know that was last month. He was super.
Oh,
When he goes,